Ed, we wanted to hear from some of the business owners along this route who are dealing with construction for the Albuquerque Rapid Transit Project right at their front door. I'm joined at the table now by Gabriel Amador, co-owner of Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria, which has locations in the Green Jeans Farmery and on at Carlisle and I-40 and the Country Club Plaza on Central Avenue in West Downtown. And Colin Troy is co-owner of the Octopus and the Fox, an artisan store on Central Avenue in the Edo District, just east of downtown. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So let's start with the big question. Have you taken a financial hit during the ART construction? Gabriel, I'll start with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we definitely have. It's kind of hard for us to gauge a percentage because we were still a new business when the construction started. So.
And when did you open your location?
We opened in June.
Okay.
And we opened in June, so we were still kind of, getting that little ramp up of business and building our clientele as we were going. And then October was when the cones went up in front of us, and our business really did kind of taper off from that point.
Colin, what about you? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The only thing I was going to add to that is, yeah, we dropped, I would say probably about 20%, but we were at a point where we were still trying to build and we weren't anywhere close to where we needed to be or should be yet. So we've never really been able to establish that yet and get to that baseline where we should be.
Now, I will say that location was new, but you guys have been around since 2013.
Correct.
So, I mean, you had a local brand name.
Yeah.
Okay. Colin, what about you?
As far as a financial hit, it's been near a disaster for our shop. Similar for Gabriel, the construction started in mid-October, and we always were curious how it would affect us. At first, it made business very unpredictable. It's just all the kind of traffic that we could rely on started to change. And then in late February, in front of our store, right there on Central and Edith, the construction really intensified. And it made it not impossible to get in the store, but it seems impossible. And from that, when the construction really intensified there in late February, we saw a 60% reduction in sales in March. And
that's from last year?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And I think you said on your on one of your videos that last year was your best year.
Yeah.
You've been open for 5 or 6 years. So I want to have you explain your inventory is created by local artists.
Yeah.
You're not quite a co-op, but you're basically doing consignment work. So there's a lot of people. It's not just you losing money. It's the local artists who are putting stuff in your store to sell.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a consignment deal, and it's very generous to the artists. We deal with over 40 artists in the store. And yeah, the economy of our shop does support a number of artisan families and makers all around town, and so it's affecting everybody.
Are any of them pulling stuff out because of that?
Not yet, no. We're fortunate to have a very loyal, supportive group of artists and customers, and so far we've been able to keep our stock in the shop.
Gabriel, your location in West Downtown, as you say, was just getting established along with some other new restaurants. Do you think the timing of the construction had a role in establishing regular patrons to Amore and the other restaurants around you?
Yeah, there was.
I mean, you haven't been there as long as Duran's, for instance.
Sure, yeah, and that's one of the things, with the businesses in West Downtown, there's a lot of old ones, but there's a lot of new ones, and there's, it's a rapidly changing area. A lot like with the Arts and Culture District, we're definitely aligned with them and close. And, I think, when it comes down to it, the businesses there, they've all suffered. I mean, they've all taken a hit as far as their business. I think, it's different to absorb that for a newer business as opposed to an established business, definitely. Because it's hard to build clientele through something like that as opposed to when you have that established clientele that's there to still support you and try to get you through that. And we've definitely gotten that as well. But as far as the effect on it, no, I think it's been widespread across all the businesses there, old and new.
You're part of a group of West Downtown business owners. You come together during the construction. You talk about ART and other things. So what's the group's focus right now?
Well, originally we got together and it was really about getting through art and finding a way to advertise through that, somehow work together to get through it, essentially, and try to, survive. And it's really kind of changed from that because that's what it started as, and we are focused on doing things to get us through the construction. But at the same time, we've done a lot more that we're looking at down now towards the future and how to build and really work with our community there, because it's kind of a unique and special thing. I mean, we're all competing businesses working together, and that's a unique thing, particularly with restaurants. I mean, there's a lot of competition factor in that. And it's unique because they're all bringing positive energy to the meetings. We're working together, and I think it's really a mentality of looking at the setup where, like, if the tide rises, all the boats rise along with it, and that's what we're really focusing on, and trying to again build for the future, get through this, and make sure it's better on the other side.
Colin, Octopus and Fox has a crowdfunding campaign up right now. And your page for that calls ART, quote, invasive and controversial. So are you against the bus line or against how it was rolled out by the city?
Definitely not against the bus line. Obviously things change, and we'd like to see city improvements. And we're very careful not to be too critical of the project from our standpoint as a business. Obviously we're optimistic about the future. The rollout has been very difficult on us. Throughout the course from beginning to now, we've never had a clear understanding of time frame, scope. Nobody ever really was able to give us straight answers, or when we did get straight answers, those would change very quickly. And so,
which is not unusual in construction projects, but
right,
it does impact everybody,
right, and
especially in this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and the biggest, I guess to answer your question, yeah, we're not against it, but the rollout I think could have been handled very differently, and at least for our section of the street, which is some very intense construction going on right now. A clearer picture of what that would have looked like definitely would have helped us prepare.
Gabriel, what about you? Would you consider yourself against the project, or more about how it was rolled out, the scope?
When it comes to the project, I don't really take a stance on it for or against it. I think it's good to have public transit. I think we need more of it. I think that there's probably a lot of options on things that could have been done for public transit, and as far as whether this was the best one or not, I'm not the one to decide that.
Are you having the same issues in terms, I know the street's wider where you guys are, but same
Yeah,
issues about like what's going on, what's today?
Definitely. I mean, the information hasn't been consistent, and when we have gotten information, it's definitely changed, over time. And so that has been difficult. It's hard to work with that. I mean, as a business, we have to be able to forecast and plan ahead, and with everything from inventory to staff and everything else that way. And so it's hard to do that when the information coming to us isn't correct. As far as timelines and that kind of stuff. I mean, we were told nothing was starting until January, and Cone's up in October. So,
what could the city have done better besides giving you like the actual start date?
I think there's options that other cities have done. Things like cities doing free advertising to affected businesses on public buses or city buses and that kind of thing. Seattle, Kansas City, Milwaukee, they've had some pretty big transit projects, and they've done a lot to support the businesses through that. And it seems here that they've had a lot of ideas on things to do to support the businesses, but the money is always not there when they talk about those ideas.
Colin, what about you? I mean, there's some things that you would like to have seen the city do?
It's hard, it's hard to say at this point, other than, clearer communication to us. I mean, the support that we've received, we've appreciated. We've seen billboards up, but for us, it doesn't change that the construction is 2 feet out in front of our door, and that people can't get into the store.
I know you're doing a crowdfunding campaign for support during construction. Why did you decide to do that? And are you also looking to get a loan from this program the city says they're going to have?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the crowdfunding, we had to make a decision whether we were going to stay open or not. And obviously, crowdfunding is an option for any business. We believed that the goodwill of our customers and the community around the store that would come through for us and really help to at least buy us a few months to see what happens. And that's been the effort. And in the crowdfunding campaign too, we're making it not just about our store, but the concept of the campaign is to support all the businesses up and down Central that are affected.
Will you try to get a loan from, I know the city hasn't quite rolled those out yet.
Right, and we've heard about the loans, and at this point, we don't know if it, I mean, the idea of going into debt to keep a shop afloat for us at this point is something that we're considering, but we just don't know the future. So at this point, we're trying to do it on our own, but we're certainly open to it.
So looking ahead to the summer, what's important for your businesses right now?
I think really just trying to get through it and weather the storm, and then hopefully have have some big push at the end of it there, and hopefully the people will start coming back to Central. I think that's one of the biggest things is when people leave, they're not necessarily just going to flock right back to their regular routine and going back to the places on Central. I think it'll happen slowly. So maybe the city has an opportunity on that side of it to really do something to drive business to those businesses that have been affected, and we're able to make it through it, because there's a lot that didn't too.
And Colin, what about you? Is there a point where you're going to have to close your doors? What do you need to do?
Well, our goal is to make it through the summer. We're hoping that, obviously traffic is just not there on Central, and we're hoping just for a little bit that the construction can move to the other side of the street. Right now it's
right in front of your door.
Right in front of the door. Mm-hmm. And, we're hoping for that shift. The city has said that should happen in May. So that little bit of access would hopefully go a long way, and we really just hope to make it through the summer so that we can roll out the rest of the year like we had planned. We have an annual event in October called the Octofair, which is a large community event, kind of like a block party craft festival, and we
just want to make it to that.
Yeah, we just want to get there and get to, our goal at this point is to get through the summer and hopefully get to Christmas. And, as a retail store, that's really important. And one of the very disheartening things at this point is, even if we can make it there, it sounds like construction could continue through December. And that it continues to be, unknown what's going to happen to us and all the businesses around us. So.
Well, Colin, Troy, Gabriel Amador, appreciate you coming in and talking about this. We'll keep following this, of course, as it evolves. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.